Welcome into Sunrise and SKOL. Good morning, Vikings fans. Focus on there we go. Better on the camera there. Just going to talk some Vikings football. Saturday morning. Just have an easy conversation today. Nothing too particular. Just going to go through a rundown of things here real quick for you guys. If you got your coffee, drink your coffee. If you got your eggs and bacon, eat your eggs and bacon. If you're still in bed, get your butt up. No, I'm just kidding. You do you. Anyway, again, we're just over 3.5 weeks away from the NFL draft. So it's a lot of speculation, smoke screens, repetitive news. I'm guilty. Are the Vikings going to go get Drake May? Are they going to go get J.J. McCarthy? Are they going to go get Jaden Daniels over and over and over and again? Are they going to stay put at 11 and 23? Over and over. Same conversation. It gets a little, again, repetitive. And I'm guilty of that. I think it's just, it's a quiet period. No one really knows what's going to happen. So it's an interesting talker, obviously. The biggest draft for the Vikings and maybe their franchise history, for sure the last 20 years or so. Just a unbelievably huge draft for, Kwesi Adofo-Mensah and Kevin O'Connell and that whole front office. But just kind of going down, tracking some news here from the Minnesota Vikings. One of the interesting ones I see, and we're going to go back to the draft talk, obviously. Bucky Brooks, his latest mock draft, he had Drake May going all the way to number 11 to the Minnesota Vikings, and that'd be an absolute dream scenario for the Minnesota Vikings. And I think at 23, it was either him or Jason McIntyre's mock draft. At 23, they had them getting the quarterback of the future, and then Jerzon Newton from Illinois. Would that not be the best first round you could ever imagine? Sitting at 11 and somehow getting your franchise quarterback, if it's J.J. McCarthy or Drake May, and they're probably not going to fall to 11. They're going to have to go jump and get somebody because Denver's behind you. Vegas is behind you. It's just not going to happen. But it's interesting to just think about if one of those guys did drop to 11. Of course, he would look like a genius, but it's probably not going to happen. Either way, it's really fun to speculate on that. And then another note on Drake May was Jeremy Fowler came out and said a lot of people, a lot of front offices, a lot of GMs, just the noise around the NFL streets. The Vikings are going to trade up for Drake May. That's all signs are pointing towards that. Now, is he available? Are we able to jump up to number 3, number 2 to get him? Or does he fall a little bit, slip a little bit, and he's still available at pick number 5? Because I know J.J. McCarthy, there's been speculation that McCarthy could go number 2 or maybe number 3, and that pushes Drake May back a little bit farther, or Jaden Daniels, one of the two. Someone's going to get pushed back a little bit farther, but Jeremy Fowler says the speculation is the Vikings are targeting Drake May on a trade up. And, that makes a lot of sense with the Josh McCown connection. Kevin O'Connell has accuracy, off script playability, just be able to do all those things together. And Drake May is kind of the guy with the biggest boom potential. And I think Kevin O'Connell is kind of licking his chops over that. So that's kind of fun to speculate on that as well. And, there's been reports showing, Alec Lewis, more of a local guy, said the Vikings absolutely adore Drake May. So it all really does make sense, to be honest with you. It's just, is it the truth? Is it a smokescreen? We have really no idea. Looking at this defense too, and I know this was a while back, but Shaquille Griffin to the Vikings as we continue to add pieces to that defense. And, we can go back to Jerzon Newton if we could somehow land him. Me and Ryan Jones, my co-host for this, we mocked where we got Devondre Sweat from Texas in the 3rd round. We traded up for Drake May, and we ended up getting a kickback, a 3rd round pick after sending our future first from the Patriots. We got number 68, and we selected Devondre Sweat from Texas. Now, I think that'd be a really good fit, a guy that can pass rush and stop the run, where Newton's kind of the same way, but we're probably not going to have pick number 23 in all likelihood. We're going to have to use those assets to trade up for our quarterback of the future, if that's the way they go. So who knows? And then, that's the biggest hole in the defense is defensive tackle, defensive interior. You got Jonathan Bullard, Jerry Tillery. There's another signing in there. Jonah Williams, the defensive Jonah Williams, the less well-known Jonah Williams, signed here as well. We were supposed to sign him back in 2021, 2022, and he failed his physical. So there's a lot of pieces in the interior of the defensive line, but none that really just make you go, okay, I feel good about that position group, because I don't. We need to address it in the draft somehow. If that is, later on in the draft, it'd be amazing to recoup a number 3, or we could package our 4s to get up to number 3. I don't know how likely that is. I know Kwesi really loves his ammunition in the draft. He wants to have some draft picks. He doesn't want to have 4 or 5 draft picks again, kind of like last year. I think he ended up with 6 last year, 5 or 6 last year, but either way, he likes the number of picks he has this year. So I don't know how much moving he's going to do. More than he already did. Got rid of his 2nd just to move up to 23 in a future 2nd. And then there were some swaps towards the end of the draft with Houston. So continuing to build that defense. And obviously everyone says there's a report that another anonymous GM said who's going to be the best rookie quarterback in this class. And he again said whoever lands with the Vikings, and Colin Cowherd has been saying that as well, and a couple other analysts. So, it makes all the sense in the world, building this strong defense with all these free agent signings. And then you still got Justin Jefferson. He's not going anywhere. Jordan Addison, TJ Hawkinson's going to be healthy again, coming off that knee injury. And you got Aaron Jones in the backfield, Ty Chandler. And they still got room to add more playmakers as well, 2 bookend offensive tackles. The interior of the offensive line really scares me still, but maybe they could address that in the draft still, or still add another free agent piece in the interior of the offensive line. So just building this team, building it for a rookie quarterback is looking real good. And then we got all the cap space, of course, in 2025, which is going to be very enticing for this front office as well. Moving over to Michael Penix, who had a fantastic pro day on Thursday, same day as Drake May. Penix kind of took a little bit of the spotlight away from Drake May, and Drake May had a really good performance at his pro day. But at the same time, Michael Penix, anywhere from a 4.46 or a 5 or a 4.54, somewhere in there, and his 40-yard dash was pretty incredible. He was moving, obviously, and he just showed off that arm strength. And he is one of the more accurate quarterbacks in this draft as well. I think the Vikings met with him last night as well. So, there's some interest there. If they somehow can't move up to the top 5 and go get a quarterback, do they feel confident taking him at 11? Do they wait to 23, trade down opportunity, get him in the teens somewhere? Is Michael Penix a guy that maybe is a fallback option, or maybe they're targeting him the whole time? I don't know, but they're obviously doing their due diligence per usual with this quarterback class. But Michael Penix, I think, would fit really well into the system as well. Medicals, age is a concern. He's 25, I think 24 or 25 years old. It's not a concern to me, but people say it is a concern. He's got 10, 12 good years of football left. If he can come in and be successful, no one's going to care about his age in 3-4 years. They're going to care that he was a hit in the draft. But he's another guy that they're looking at. I think one of the more likely ones, if they can't get the top 4, it'd be Penix. I'm not sure how interested they are in Bo Nix. They haven't shown a lot of interest, but what does that really mean? I mean, they didn't go to his pro day. They could be having meetings with him and stuff like that, but I feel like It's either Daniels, May, McCarthy, or Michael Penix. So it's really one of those four guys, in my opinion. So, but it's really interesting to just continue to speculate who really knows what's going to happen at the end of the day. So, just fun to think about, to be honest with you. But those are the kind of the main talking points I want. Just more quarterback talk, of course. That's the biggest question looming the rest of this offseason, or looming the rest of these next few weeks. Sunrise and SKOL is sponsored by That's Badass Wood Art. Use the code VC15 at checkout for 15% off your order. Type in That's Badass Wood Art on Facebook, Twitter, Google. You'll find his socials, his website. Go get something ordered. Just an amazing work. Custom pieces. I got one right here. I can show you. It's a SKOL sign. Really, really well built. Use code VC15 for 50% off checkout. Custom wood art pieces. Vikings, Timberwolves, Twins, Wild, Lynx, Loons. Who am I missing? Any Minnesota sport, any custom piece you want, family portraits. His name is Luis. Go find him at That's Badass Wood Art. Use code VC15 for 15% off your order. Hope you guys have a fantastic weekend. Maybe a trade that the Vikings traded into the top 3 lands this weekend. Really highly doubt it, but you never know. A guy can wish. Thank you for tuning in. Viking Central Podcast, Sunrise and SKOL. Going to do this a couple days a week. Get your morning ready. This is posted on a Saturday. Probably won't be as early as a weekday because people are up eating breakfast, getting ready for work, where people want to sleep in a little bit on Saturday. So I think it's probably about 8 o'clock here, 8:10 now, as you're watching this, depending on what time zone you're in. But yeah, SKOL Vikings. Who are we going to get at quarterback? It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun. Next couple of weeks, continue to tune in. Continue to scroll Twitter. Who knows? It's gonna be fun, guys. Sam Darnold's not gonna be our quarterback after this year. I'm sorry. As much as you think it could be a possibility, it's probably not gonna happen. It's Drake May. I know. It's Drake May. It's Drake May. Say it with me. It's Drake May. It's Drake.